We always wanted to be the best deal in town, and we still are. And we've seen a lot of our competitors raise their prices, and we haven't. So I'm pretty excited about that. And and we don't trick people. We don't have like per contact pricing or per user pricing or any of this other nonsense. And so we just really felt like, yeah, I know.
That right there was one of the main reasons why I came over. Because
totally.
I won't even say, but I won't even say, but one of these CRMs, they were charging like a ridiculous amount per 1,000 or per 10,000 like contacts that you have. I was like, dude, that like you're trying to rape my business here.
Well,
Shaun, what is going on today, man? Welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Absolutely, man. Hey, thank you for accepting the invite for to come on the show, dude. Straight up, I love your software. Go high level. I switched over from ClickFunnels a couple years ago. Probably the best decision I ever made when it comes to CRM, business softwares, funnels, all that good stuff, all in one. I just love it, man. But we're gonna talk. Yeah, for sure, man. We're gonna talk all about that today. But before we get into that, man, could you just share a little bit about your backstory, how you got to where you're at today with Go High Level, and why you're so passionate about it?
Yeah, sure. So I've always been a software nerd, so that's never changed. But early on in my career, I got a chance to see kind of the impact that software can have on small businesses, and kind of fell in love with that, and kind of made that my career. And early on, high level, we really brought it out as a way to help small businesses. But we really found out early on how difficult it was for a small business to actually implement technology, even stuff that we sort of think of as simple technology. And when we kind of confronted that problem, we were lucky because we got a lot of people reaching out to us who were agencies saying, hey, look, we're actually the people that really solve for these issues in small business land every day. And so we were super fortunate because we said, okay, well, if we really want to help the small business, let's help the people that are enabling the small business. And so really that's kind of the story of High Level. Is we've just really said, listen, how do we enable the people who can help those small businesses with these tools? Because we know if we really want to help the small business, it's not about trying to sell them a product as much as it is selling somebody who can help them a product, and then helping them create a business around it and revenue around it. And that's what we've been kind of working on.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, without a doubt. What were when you launched that, right? When you guys decided like, okay, agency owners, that's going to be our jam, right? And those are the people that are helping the people. What were some of the initial, because it's how it works for everybody, right? You get this great idea, this great thing, like, yeah, let's go do that. And then life kicks in and hits you in the face and you get hit with a bunch of adversity. What were some of the trying times or some adversity you guys faced early on when you made that decision?
Well, I mean, I think, I would say the biggest thing is always like hey, well, it's cool that you guys do this, but you don't do that. So as a result, I'm not interested in using the product yet, right? Kind of thing. Where for years it was, you're right, we don't do social media posting, but, and it sucked because it was like, yeah, but we do all these other things that are more than worth using us for. But, you just mentally can't get over the fact that it doesn't do something that you were hoping it did. And so now all this other value we have isn't something you're interested in pursuing. And so it was a lot of like, okay, well, I'll get back to you, like I'll see you in 6 months, like I'll get you eventually. And just really kind of going through that one step at a time, really, really having to say no to some people and yes to a lot more, thankfully. And then eventually getting back around to people. And but that was that was every day for years.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I bet. So, where did you basically figure out like, all right, these are the problems that we got to solve for these agency owners just by having those conversations with them? Or like, how did you dive into 100%.
That was just that simple. So just getting on call after call after call after call. And, I would sort of say, oh, hey, I'll get on a Zoom call with you and set you up. But then really it was about trying to understand the problem or the business they were running or, their challenges as much as it was to try to help them get set up. And what was cool about it is, there were a lot of really important challenges that almost every agency owner was facing. And when you're the agency owner, you kind of live on this island and maybe you're talking to some of your buddies and maybe you have some perspective that they have these same issues. But on our side, I literally would talk to hundreds and eventually it was thousands of agencies. And so I had a lot of data points. And so I could tell like, okay, we need to focus on this problem first. and then kind of move along in a certain order. And eventually, I realized that, agency owners, if, instead of just relying on me and then eventually my co-founder to kind of sift through all of this, we could actually just get agency owners to tell us their issues and then vote them up on a public ideas list. And then we really know from there what those issues were. But early on, we were able to glean out some very key problems they were having, which is really what drove our product and really kind of continues to drive it to this day.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, when you got, a product like yours as successful as it is, you're doing the market research because you're solving a huge problem if you're having the success that it is. So hell yeah, man, that's awesome. Man. Yeah, without a doubt. I'd like to ask, so what I know you probably know so many different like cool stories of success stories of people coming in and using the product and being able to, do something really cool or something that happened because of that. What's like one of your favorite success stories that you've heard from somebody using Go High Level and what they've been able to do?
Yeah. So, I mean, my favorite stories are always the ones that start from zero. Cause, there's a lot of people who, say, well, I have this, existing audience or this existing business, and I was able to double or triple it. But I really am excited about the fact that we can help people start a business from nothing. The old agency model, it was always like, oh, I'm going to get you to 10 grand in 30 days or something. And the problem with that was that the 10 grand is a really big, nice number at the top. And the problem is nobody understood that below it was all of this work, and it was all custom, and it wasn't scalable. And really there was, if you really did your hourly rate, you might as well go get a job at the end of the day, even though you're quote unquote making 10 grand a month. And so we've been able to come in and say, no, don't do a bunch of bespoke services. Here's a scalable software-based platform that you can put in place, and you can create a very sustainable recurring revenue business that doesn't require that you never go on vacation again, and that you make less than you would make at a job. Like, I'm really proud of how many people that we've brought from zero to a sustainable business that's growing steadily every day, that doesn't require that they kill themselves to do
it. Amen. I mean, dude, come on now. For $97, I don't give a fuck who you are, dude. I came a little bit further along in business now, but when I first started, I came home from prison with nothing, dude, and like didn't even know how to use technology, but I figured it the hell out. You know what I'm saying? And $97, anybody can figure it the hell out for $97.
That was the goal. We always wanted to be the best deal in town, and we still are. And we've seen a lot of our competitors raise their prices, and we haven't. So I'm pretty excited about that. And and we don't trick people. We don't have like per contact pricing or per user pricing or any of this other nonsense. And so we just really felt like, yeah, I know.
That right there was one of the main reasons why I came over. Because
totally.
I won't even say, but one of these CRMs, they were charging like a ridiculous amount per 1,000 or per 10,000 like contacts that you have. I was like, dude, like you're trying to rape my business here.
Well, and that is actually the model for those businesses, and it's pretty funny because I feel bad for them because just as an engineer and having been in the SaaS business my whole life, it'd be great if you could just create a great product and get it out to market, and people would pay you enough that you could be profitable and they could be happy. But unfortunately, there's with all the outside money that's come in, what's really become a thing is that their goal is to offer sort of like it's almost like a sneaky sort of price at the beginning to try to bait you in. And it's like, once they got you on the trap, they drop that trap on you, and it's boom, per user pricing, per contact pricing, per feature pricing. Like, the good ones actually, like the really sophisticated guys, they cut it all three ways, and they just know one way or another going to trap you into an $800 a month bill, in no time, because they're trying to pay for all the sales and all the ads and all the unprofitable ways that they acquire customers. So, but we saw that model, and from the very beginning, we thought that's just so unfair to people. So we just thought, gosh, can we find a different way? And lucky for us, we were able to do that.
Man, thank God. Appreciate you. And I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot of people that do as well. Man, so let's get into some more of the nitty gritty, like the technical stuff or some things that you could do. So there's so much you could do in here. Guys, I mean,
not much you can't do actually now. And as of next week, there'll be even less.
Oh, wow. Can we talk about that, or is that like?
Oh, sure. Yeah. We've got our big level up day next week. And we do this every year. We've done it now all 5 years. And the last 2 years it's in person. This year we'll also be in person. And I'm proud to say we sold out very early on this year, so that's cool. But we'll announce a ton of new features and we've been holding them back for the last 3 weeks. So that's made my job very difficult because that's my favorite thing to do is release new features. But yeah, I mean, again, holistically, we've always said, hey, listen, who are we not serving, right? So, one of the biggest markets we haven't been serving is e-com. So we'll have our e-com offering dropping next week so that we'll be able to take that on. And I think there's such a big market for people who maybe aren't doing e-com today because they think of it as just kind of this huge, like too hard kind of thing. But I think by simply adding it into high level where they're already selling products and funnels, or they're already selling products and invoices, they already are doing that thing, they could turn that e-com on or just start to offer it. And I think by being in a one-stop shop like that for their customers, all of a sudden they're going to have a whole nother line of business that they can go after. And then over the years, just talking to e-com only agencies, even, I always assume like Shopify would win or WooCommerce would win or something like that. But reality is people don't, the businesses, and this is actually what we've discovered all along, the business owners themselves, they don't, whether they know about these platforms or not, they don't really care. What they want is a solution to a problem. And if an agency can provide that, it's not about the technology. The technology is an enabler. And so by putting it all together in one spot, I know we can do a really great job for people. And even something like Shopify, for example, if you do any SMS marketing or email marketing, you have to buy another product in order to do that with them. And we're already going to put that in one. So right away, we've got a lot of big advantages there. So e-com is going to be big. Our conversational AI is huge. So I think every business going forward is going to have a conversational AI solution of some sort or another. And so we have been putting out our conversational AI solution, and you'll see a big update to that next week. We'll be bringing in live chat, so you can actually do real-time chat on the website, but it's all, you can obviously do it manually, but it's really designed to be powered by the AI. So there's a lot of really big updates coming down that I think people are going to love.
Man, a lot to unpack right there. Question. So the e-commerce part, so is that basically like it's going to integrate with Shopify? So like when people...
it's going to replace Shopify. We already have a Shopify integration today, but our goal is, let's do e-com natively. Let's have a native e-com option for people. So yet another product you don't have to buy. It's all in high level. It's all part of the package. It's just right there.
Dude, that is badass. That's pretty cool. AI. Let's talk about that. So just last week, because I took quite a bit some time to really focus on some personal issues, doing a lot of personal work. Been ramping up though. I been coming back the last few months and getting really focused on everything. And one of those things that I've been focused on is, since I came back and started focusing on it, there's been a whole ton of AI tools. All right. So I rebuilt my whole entire, it's been making life a lot easier. So I revamped my whole entire content machine. Now I'm going in and looking at how do I implement AI into Go high level. I don't know anything yet. I know there's already stuff out there. So can you kind of share with us some of the cool stuff you could do with that?
I mean, we started with so we always follow our customers, right? So the content generation stuff was the first thing. So we already have copy generation throughout the app. So you want to generate social media posts or blog posts or website copy or whatever, you can do all that now in the app. And then we moved immediately on to image generation. So now you need, I need an image for that social media post or an image for that blog post. We can do all of that now. And then the next stage of it is, or was, depending on how you look at it, conversational AI, because we still, great content is not designed to live on its own and do nothing. It's designed to get people to take action. And when people take action at that point, you need to nurture those leads. Really, it's capture, nurture, or close. This hasn't changed and it won't change because it's really just based on human beings. And nurturing is really this idea that, all right, I've captured a lead. I need to immediately get back to them and immediately need to start a conversation. And I need to bring them down the funnel to that next step. And most of the time it's an appointment. But along the way, they're going to have questions. And in the past, it's been really difficult to answer those questions contextually, really difficult to do them, with great information. But now AI changes all that. So our conversational AI bot is designed to do both non-appointment and appointment-based conversations with this idea of trying to move you to kind of that next step. And then putting that out on all the channels. So, WhatsApp, SMS, live chat, Facebook Messenger, Instagram DMs, Google Business Profile messaging, all of those channels are available. In fact, actually, WhatsApp technically launches next week. That's also part of Level Update, which will be huge for everybody outside the US. And so, again, let's kind of move that person to take an action, because otherwise we're really not, like, capturing leads doesn't really do anything for you. This goes all the way back to when High Level was founded. We had a lot of great lead agencies who were bringing down the leads like crazy, and they'd be like, woo, 2 cents a lead, yay. And then they'd get themselves fired because the person would be like, yeah, 2 cents a lead, nothing. I didn't get any, none of those people walked to my store, they didn't buy anything, they didn't book the appointments, I didn't drill any of their teeth. Well, it's because you didn't follow up. Or if you did, you didn't follow up quickly. And now with the AI, not only do we automate it like we did before, but now we can automate it to the extent that we're answering really in-depth questions. We've got automatic training, so you can put like the client's website in there and hit train, and it'll spider the website and use that automatically for training, or you can use Google Docs or whatever. So there's huge possibilities there. And then, of course, you'll see a little preview of this, but in Q4, we'll also start to move into voice AI, both on the inbound and outbound side, so that, you know, you can call in and actually talk to the AI, or it'll call you and actually talk to you.
That is so wild. That's freaking cool, dude. You can pop in a link, and it learns the link, and then it can have conversations with people to answer those questions for them.
Exactly.
That's cool. Does it have like features like where you can put in frequently asked questions and then write the answer out or something?
Yep, absolutely. And then also we made it so that if you're, let's say you're staring at the conversation in the conversations view and you're like, oh, you know what, I don't like that answer, you can hit a thumbs down button, it'll pop a window, and then you can redo the answer, and then it'll also add that to the training as well. So really giving people super simple, easy ways to do all the training stuff. So that I think is really cool.
That is so cool, man. I mean, over time, just over a little short period of time, it's going to know you and be able to respond for you. And then bam, you just freed up so much space and time.
Exactly.
That's awesome, man. Dude, this has been really cool here. I want to be respectful of your time, begin to wrap this question up. So I got 2 canned questions for you. One is yeah, absolutely. I want to know where we could come check out. Before I get to that though, I asked everybody this question, and I'm excited to hear your answer to this. So yeah, Shaun, if you had to start over right now, man, from scratch, no relationships, no network, no money, no assets. The only assets that you have is the wisdom, knowledge, and experience that you've gained throughout your life. What's the first piece of advice that you would give yourself as an underdog entrepreneur to level up?
Start local. Use your home court advantage. Too many people want to go out. Too many people want to sit behind their computer and try to go out to the world and do some kind of mass kind of, like, they think it's sort of like all or nothing. I would walk out my front door. I'd start to go meet local business owners, figure out what their problems are, and solve them hand to hand, and just kind of scale up from there. But use that local home court advantage, because it's worth a lot more. And, you know, it's ironic because there are massive SaaS companies that I can name. Things like, there's one, Podium is a good example of this. Oh shoot, I always forget this. Patient Pop is a good example of this. If you actually go and read those backstories of these companies, they all started this way. They're entrepreneurs who walked out their front doors, sold SaaS and software to people who were in their within walking distance, until they sold to all of them. So it's entirely possible for everyone, including big time software companies. So it's a very useful model. So I'd say start local.
Dude, amen. You're right too. That's what a lot of people want to do. Like, I want to go big and go do it all, right?
Yeah, I want the magic cold email formula, and I just hit the go button in, and everybody buys. And it's just like, you know, that's not how it really works. You know, you're not making a connection. You're not creating trust. You know, it's like, I know, like, and trust you, right? That's how sales get made. And if you're sending me a cold email, it just most of it means I probably don't like you at all, and I'm annoyed by you because you're invading my inbox with useless garbage. But if you come out and meet me someplace, I'm probably more open to it, because we're going to meet in a context that's probably more appropriate. I think of things like Chamber of Commerce and BNI, which sounds super old school and lame, but guess what? Every local business is a member of these communities, because it allows them to make sales to other people, get to know their fellow business owners in their community, and it's a great opportunity for you to connect with them. And so they're just going to be more open to talking and hearing you. And then it's also a great opportunity for you to like listen to them and understand their problems, and then also to demonstrate your expertise and value. So I think it's a really superb way to get going.
Yes, sir. I agree. And dude, those small events like that too is second to none. And when you get to have that interaction, the in-person interaction, second to none, man. Totally. Dude, Shaun, man, this episode's been awesome, incredible. I really appreciate your time today.
Likewise.
Thank you, man. This is a pretty simple question. I think I can know where this is going, but for everybody who wants to check you out, man, wants to check out Go High Level, get a free trial, all that good stuff, where's the best place? Where can we go to do that?
Well, I mean, hopefully you've got a good link for them down below someplace right over here. But if you want to check out, behind the scenes and everything, I'm a big fan of our YouTube channel. That way you can kind of get an idea of all the different features, because we literally have hundreds of them, and just get a behind the scenes sneak peek. That's probably the best place. But just in terms of best value, I think always working with someone like you is super important, because we're just software, right? You got to remember, we're just tools. We make hammers and saws and nails, but like, you're the guy who teaches me how to build a house. And I think that's the most important part of this journey, because tools are useless without good technique and a good teacher, and somebody who can actually help you put it together. So that's what I would recommend people do.
1000%, man. I appreciate you mentioning that. So we're going to link up Go High Level in the show notes for you to check out to get a free trial, and the YouTube channel for you to check out. And then what I'm going to do, if you go to that link and you go and get your free trial, you're going to get a site map from my site, from my Go High Level account, which is going to give you instant access, templates already built out. You're going to have automations already built out for a landing page to collect emails where you give them a lead magnet of sorts or whatnot to collect their information. And then it's going to have the whole funnel, the automation already made for you. You can tweak it to fit yours exactly. You're also going to have all my funnels, and you're going to have my automations that I use for Alpha Dog Pound Live, our yearly event. You're going to have access to all that. So go check that out. It's at gohighlevel.com. I'll leave the affiliate link in the show notes as well. And you can go check that out at underdogempowerment.com/CRM. And that'll bring you straight to there. Shaun, dude, once again, thank you for coming on the show. This was excellent, man. I love your tool. I love your software. It's also
Thanks, man.
So awesome to meet you in person. I appreciate it, man. You have a great one.
Likewise. Man. Bye for now.
Right. Hey, thank you for tuning in to the Underdog Empowerment Podcast right here on YouTube. If you're an alpha business owner building a dominant brand, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss none of this heat that we put out here every single week right here on YouTube. Until then, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace. This is Underdog Empowerment. My name is Zach Babcock.